So, but when it comes down to it, I haven't tried really getting the message out. Some concerns was that, you know, safety, of personal safety, that you know, you know, or that just too abrupt of a change if too many people, I wasn't sure. But I also just kept thinking, if I just keep doing what I'm doing, eventually enough people will know and it'll be, and yet it's still, I just, and the more important thing is that right now, for a while my health was kind of like taking a decline. I was working night shifts and I was really feeling bad. And that's why at the blog, the Health and Caution Update series, I started pretty much after the 2011. Um, uh, and I have known about the later ones. I did know about, you know, uh, the, the major quakes later in Japan and Indonesia area there. And I did know that they weren't the ones, generating too big of tsunamis. And I did communicate some of that to other people, and so I stayed active, and I'm I have very good accuracy. I mean, I feel confident. I feel like I'm getting, when I look at my record, I mean, I don't say, I, like, I haven't done well to myself. I feel like, it's just something's lacking in getting an appropriate response. But at the same time, a lot of pressure. I feel a lot of pressure because it's, to me, it's pretty well cut out right now that it's California, or West Coast, and the geologists understand there's that subduction plate. I guess they were saying it's maybe going to break up more towards Canada or something. But what I'm getting, or what I'm trying to confirm is that that's the next one. And that's been the problem, is I don't really have too much more information, but I've been able to like rule out other, other events, like I was saying, like that I don't know when it was, and it was like a 2012 Japan, like 6 points something, and then there was the later one in Indonesia. I knew about the Japan one, but I didn't tell anybody. In the Indonesian one, or the one that was kind of like there was the later one was maybe like an 8 or something. I don't know, but I told somebody about that. But in kind of like a few days before it happened, and in pretty great detail. So I'm still focusing on California. But the thing is, the reactors are there as well. I feel like this is the main event that I kind of set out initially to get involved in. Everything else has been, in a lot of ways, like this is, your end event. It's really, it's a little kind of concerning me, like, mentally, because I'm below sea level. I'm right by, I could drown if something were to happen. And the thing is, I don't have all the information yet, but I can tell you, even if I did, pretty confidently, that I'm not sure what difference it would make. You know, as far as I know, they have political, theological, monetary, whatever their reasons are, personal. There is this non-interaction with me, and with the information I provide, it doesn't get recognized. And I don't know what to say other than, I'm expecting other people to get involved. I'm hoping other people will get involved themselves. I'll do my best to continue to get and deliver accurate, you know, information, the best I can. But that's the thing is, you know, it is so much. I feel so much pressure. I don't say, there's a fear of failure, but it could be like sometimes like I kind of had the rough, like for example with 9/11, I had a rough idea, a real good exacting kind of picture of what was going to occur, where it was going to occur, but I didn't know when, and it was only really the day before I knew for sure. Kind of, I don't want to say for sure, but I was really kind of more convinced. It's like just there, and then I personally just went out and slept in a sleeping bag outside and woke up the next morning to the news, somebody else telling me what was going on. It wasn't a shock in any way, I mean, that's what had happened. It was a shock that, I'm knowing all this and I'm going and I'm able to do that. And all these things are happening, and, what are people going to say, or that maybe notice something, and it's just what kind of response am I going to get from anybody. And that's the thing, is like, it's been one of those things where I keep having a hard time gauging what other people's responses be, but it's been pretty consistently just, I don't want to say like silent treatment or ignore or don't mention it, none of it. So it's just been, it's like, you just kind of like, you get done doing something like that, and then you come back and it's kind of eerily to me, and I don't really protest it too much. I just keep going, whatever I was doing, and just keep doing it, and just been trying to get this information out for expecting it just to be like, if it's a big enough event, or people would have questions, or I don't know. And that's the thing, is it's been a pretty difficult situation just to get through, and yet I feel like one of the most culminating events is the one I'm anticipating. Like, it's really like, it's the big one as far as I'm concerned, that I've always, even I think as young as 9, been expecting, and it's really like something that I really kept to myself, expressed a little bit. I think you can see some of that at the blog of WordPress in the images. You can kind of, I try to get a profile of the dates, and you can kind of see me trying to express concerns about those things through through the artwork and stuff. But again, I have quite a bit of confidence in myself, my ability to do it, but at the same time, my health is declining, and it has declined. I'm kind of improving a little bit right now. So, what I have to do is just say, if you're concerned about your safety and concerned to radiation release in regard to a West Coast tsunami, I would feel that that's kind of one of the more important things, because not just for Americans or Canadians or Mexico, and not just the immediate radiation dangers, but I mean, you're talking about, this is a lot of agriculture areas, preparing for an aftermath of an event like that, that if it doesn't get intervened in, like if it doesn't get, the radiation is released in it, there's just, the structural damage, everybody's on the coast, everybody there on the coast, and, that's, like a bad event. I mean, it's a pretty tragic incident already. And then you have to look at, the global impacts, the economic impact, and really take into consideration what kind of changes might happen in life, all around the world.